Hi, I'm Igor and you're watching the Sonus Aurelius Podcast. In this episode, we get the pleasure of chatting with Kate Lucetta. Kate is an unsung hero of Melbourne's music scene. She has been a stable host of many open mics in the northern suburbs for ages and continues to actively support the scene. Her passion for live music and support for local artists is an incredible inspiration. She's also an accomplished artist in her own right, and her soulful, bluesy pop songs have been connecting with audiences for over a decade. Before we get into it, please like and subscribe. I have a bunch of great interviews just like this one coming up, and I'd love for you to join me on that journey. All right, without further ado, here's Kate. Kate Lucetta, thanks so much for joining me on the podcast. So I thought to start off, we'd explore your musical influence and how you developed as a songwriter. How did you develop such a beautiful voice?
Singing along to Mariah Carey cassettes from when I was like 7 years old.
I hear that, yeah.
When I was like, I don't know, 7 or 8, I was pretty young. I was definitely in primary school. I had like a day homesick from school, and there was a doco on TV of Mariah Carey, and she was running around making music videos and recording and like in the studio going, yeah. And I was a little kid and I went, that looks fun. I'm going to be a singer. And I've been singing ever since. And I got the music box cassette and a Walkman for my, I think 8th birthday. And I probably drove my family mental because I would just sit in my room listening on repeat and trying to hit every note. I remember once my mom being like, we can hear you.
You just bootstrapped your way through singing.
Yeah, I just wanted to sing Dream Lover and hit all the notes because I thought it was cool. But yeah, and then I guess it just went on to like, I was a nerdy kid who would just spend hours in my room like singing along to cassettes and trying to learn all the songs and hit all the notes. And then like when I was like 16, I started learning guitar, and it was the same. Like I just wanted to learn guitar, like so I could play along. I'd play Alex Lloyd songs on repeat, the whole albums on repeat, so I could learn the whole things. And yeah.
So you've got a diverse set of interests or influences then.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like started off being like the most uber into pop music person ever, but now I'm a bit out of touch. I hate to say with that. I try to get more aware of what's going on out there, but I don't know. I mean, I like a lot of. So many of my favorite artists are actually like local Melbourne people and people I'm friends with. Like I have friends that I would be like, I don't share my Spotify most played list, partly because Spotify's fucked, but also partly because like I don't want my friend Fletcher to know that he was the most played song last year. And like it's honestly mostly like my friends. Like I have so many amazing friends who make music. And then I guess like getting into little local bands, and then they play a gig and that person opens and then you see them next time, or even bigger artists like going, you know, oh, I really love Phoebe Bridgers, but she works with Christian Lee Hudson, and then Christian Lee Hudson's on his other record, and you kind of follow the trail of, or like see people they're into or they've worked with or they've produced. And so I don't know, like I guess yeah, I've kind of broadened into like I like a lot of folky music, I like soul stuff, I really like ambient stuff, and hip hop's fun. I want to learn to rap. That's like on my secret to-do list. I guess it's not secret anymore. Yeah, there's a place for everything.
Well, it seems
Even metal. I used to say I could kind of get into everything but metal, but even lately, like sometimes some metal, even I'm like, yeah, I understand where this is needed. Like,
when you think back on your sort of desire to sing to Mariah Carey songs, what specifically do you think inspired you by her music?
I mean, I guess I was just a little girl and I thought she was cool, but I mean, even now I'm in my 30s, like I still kind of fun singing along to her songs in the car sometimes. Like it's pretty fun doing all that. Wow. I don't know, she wrote, still does, like she writes catchy pop songs, like and at the end of the day, I think that's what music's like. What draws me to music is good songs, like, and that's the thing, like that crosses all genres. Like still now, like, you know, there's some great songs by, I don't know, Beyonce, but you write great songs, you know, lots of our friends write great songs. Like, I mean, I'm lucky that I've run open mics and been part of all this local scene for so long, and I get to hear all these amazing people that come, and sometimes there was a guy playing just the other night at one of the open mics that I run, and I was saying to a friend, like, his guitar's a bit out of tune, but fuck, this is a really good song. Like, like I think good songwriting just transcends everything. And if there's some fun, if it's a fun sing along or whatever, then that's like a bonus. But yeah. Also, I mean, I do remember really wanting the same denim cut-off shorts that Mariah had in the Dream Lover. I think it was the Dream Lover video, and I did get some.
I think we all wanted those in one shape. So you really sort of connect with the essence of people's creative craft at the end of the day.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's kind of like an insight into people's souls when people just bear so much when they write songs. I think that's the good songs anyway. Like I don't know, it makes you feel something. Like I still remember my music teacher in year 12 saying, everyone in class was into Ben Harper at the time, and he was like, Ben Harper can't fucking sing, but he means, sorry, I'm swearing too much, is that bad? But he's like, Ben Harper can't sing, but he means every word, and that's what matters. And I think, yeah, it's so true. Like, I don't know, if I think about all my favorite songs and favorite music, it's like, yeah, it gets you here,
And
that might be a pop song or a hip hop song or a beautiful ambient piano track. Like,
so you want to connect emotionally to music you listen to?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I mean, I think my biggest criticism when I'm just not into something is I'm just like, it doesn't make me, if I'm like, it doesn't make me feel anything. Sometimes I'm like, I really like this person and they've got a pretty voice or whatever, but like, yeah, make me feel something. I think you can get away with not being the greatest artist, I'm not the greatest guitarist, like, like you can not be the greatest singer or the greatest guitarist or the greatest whatever, but if you're doing something that's real and honest and stuff, it's really beautiful.
There's an element of that in your music, isn't there?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I'm pretty raw and pretty blunt. I'm not the most subtle person, but it's all right.
And I think that from what I've heard, the way it sort of comes across to me is that you've got the themes in your music really relate around love, maybe even the failure of love, I guess, or maybe just standing on the precipice of ideal love.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. Sorry, I'm just filling up my tea. Yeah, I mean, I think like most of my songs are about love or wanting love or being in love with someone or someone you love screwing you over or like all the things around that. Like that's kind of the basis of everything. I mean, sometimes people that know me really well, I'm too transparent and they're like, that's about that person. But not everyone gets that. But yeah, also I think it's all common themes that people feel all the time about different things. And yeah, everyone feels love and loses love and wants love.
It's pretty nice, but maybe even though I like you, you're no good for me.
I mean, it seems to me that what you do is you're just an open book, and for you it's just a sponge. You're a sponge for creativity. You just want to take it in, learn it, adapt it.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's a cool way to look at it. Yeah, I like that. I'll go with that. Yeah. I mean, I think I'm bad at being too busy and not making enough time to like write stuff and create stuff, but I do a lot of going to gigs and facilitating things and supporting stuff and being inspired.
Yeah, and the social side of music is really important to you.
Yeah, it's massive. It's such a huge. I think just about everyone I'm close with, I've met at an open mic night or a gig or at a bar I've worked at, which are all music venues. So it's all like almost everyone I know is a musician or an artist, just by chance because it's the people that are around and we see each other out and we get talking and we have things in common and it's such a beautiful thing. Like yeah, I don't know. I think maybe I'm just drawn to people like that. But there's so many beautiful people out there making beautiful art.
Yeah, and how does that, I guess, sort of link in with your own creativity, do you think?
I guess I meet everyone out because I'm running things or doing things or playing or just drawn to. I mean, I've been sneaking into gigs since I was like 16. I used to like sneak into places, and I would never drink underage. It was all about the music. But like, yeah, it's just kind of just been what I've done with my spare time since I was a kid. Like I used to go out to gigs when I was 16 and then catch the last bus home and then go to school in the morning. I can't believe Mum let me, but I'm glad she did. And I just from there like started making friends, and then like you meet that person at an open mic, and then you go and they've got a gig at this pub in Brunswick on Saturday night, and then that other person was playing, and then you see them, and then like all of a sudden you've got this huge circle of friends and people and venues you like going to, and you fall in love with the North Side and like move there because everything's going on there, and meet cool people like you that do podcasts, and like yeah, just kind of my whole life has ended up kind of evolving around it, really. Like, I mean, I work in a piano bar run by my friend Andrew, who I met because I heard there was this cool open mic night at Thornbury Local when I was like, 19 or something. And I would catch the bus and the train and the tram across town to go to this open mic night and hang out, and with people who I'm still friends with now, like Tim Woods and Richard Jeffrey and all these beautiful people. And then I started getting gigs there, and then I ended up working behind the bar. And then like fast forward over 15 years later, and I'm still working for Andrew, a different bar that he owns. I'm still running the open mic. I'm now running the open mic night at Thornbury Local that I used to attend. And there's people that were coming to that open mic then who I'm still friends with, who are touring and put out albums and have done all sorts of stuff. And some of them aren't playing music anymore, but they're doing other stuff. And yeah, I guess I've been lucky to form all these friendships and relationships, and it's just kind of evolved. And then you go, fuck, all these years have passed. Wow, like.
Yeah. And you reflect on that.
Yeah.
You've reflected on that a bit lately in your songwriting, haven't you? Time passing.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess, yeah, I have had a bit of a like, I'm into my 30s and I'm doing a bit of a like, I thought I've done these things by now. I need to get my shit together and do some stuff, and looking around me at some, what other people are doing or not doing, or going, hey, I want to make another record and do this and work with that person and book a gig with that person, and some people that you think are amazing who aren't playing music anymore, and you're like sad about it. And then I'm like, well, I'm a bit slack actually. I should probably do more stuff too. Yeah. I actually had this weird thing recently. Like I don't know. I was like, because time passes and you get like, you're like, oh, when was that? 4 years ago, 5 years ago? Oh, that was 8 years ago. I sat down and wrote this. Maybe it's weird. I can't believe I'm saying this on a thing. I wrote this like timeline of my last, like from when I was 18 to now, of like, so when I was like living in that house and dating that person and working that job, and when you look at it and go, oh wow, that was actually like 10 years ago, not 5. That was like, yeah, time flies. You only get one life.
It's funny how life just goes so fast. Another year has gone past.
And in that time, you've developed quite a tapestry of friendships and social groups, and really developed your networks in the music scene in Melbourne. And in fact, I would say that you're one of the most connected people that I know because of that.
I guess so. It's fun. Sometimes I take a step back and realize like, I actually know all these like super cool people. Like I just hang out with people that I love and think are nice people and talented and cool, and yeah, I don't know. And some of them have done really well, and some of them haven't done as well yet. But I think just being around people too that are doing things and inspiring you is really a really good thing. Like, it keeps you kind of wanting to do stuff and keep going. And like some friends of mine are going to play Glastonbury right now, and
Wow,
I'm
yeah.
like, I should try and play Glastonbury. Hey, I should do that too. Like, other
So for
people
you,
doing stuff around you, people putting records out and doing single launches, and you're like, I should do a tour. I should do a single launch. Like, keeps you motivated. It's good for you.
yeah, so part of it is motivation and part of it is connecting with people and just getting the inspiration from others.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, it's nice being around. It's nice energy, I guess, when people are doing cool stuff. I'm a big fan of, like, I don't know, I mentioned the piano bar I work at, like my really good friend Andrew, who runs the piano bar Ragtime. Like, I love that he is someone who has a crazy idea. He went, I'm gonna build a bar around a baby grand piano and it's gonna spin. And it's a pretty crazy idea, but he did it. He went all the way through with it, and now I work there and people play on this piano and it spins. Like, what a mad thing to do, but it's great. And like, I think being around people like that you can have a crazy idea and think it's crazy, or go, I mean, I could do it. What's the worst that's going to happen? Like, I'll have a story. Like, worst case, I tried to do whatever.
What are some of your crazy ideas?
I don't know. I mean, like, trying to play music and make records and make excuses to, like, use that as an excuse to travel and meet cool people and do cool stuff, I guess. I don't know. Is that crazy? I don't know. I haven't done as much as I planned to have done by now, but I have to remind myself sometimes that I have done a lot of cool shit still. Like, I was having a conversation with a friend ages ago, and we were like reminding ourselves, like, sometimes when you keep thinking you haven't done enough and you're not, not up there playing that festival or that whatever. Like, when I was in high school, I just thought it'd be really cool to play in a pub on a Sunday afternoon, and like, I'm doing that this Sunday afternoon. I do it all the time. Like, I take it for granted. I've been really lucky that, I mean, when I was a kid, like, you want to be like famous like Mariah Carey, but like, my goals are much more now. Like, I really like to play that folk festival, or I'd really like to play a show with this person. And like, there's people that I love who I have played shows with, and I've actually ticked off some really cool goals. But it's also still good to keep striving to want to do other stuff, obviously. But yeah, I need to make another record. I've been saying this for a long time. I'm gonna start, and then things will roll from there again. But
Yeah, and on that, how do you approach your songwriting?
I'm kind of bad and like one of those people that's like, when it comes, when I'm feeling it. And I'm also really busy, so I'm really bad at making time for like, sometimes I have really good ideas and don't even get them down. But I'm just kind of I'll sit down and pick up the whatever instrument. Usually it's a guitar. I've been tinkering on the banjo and piano a little bit lately, but like, you mess around and then you come up with something that sounds cool, and I'll just start kind of humming something or singing nonsense lyrics. And if I think it's got a vibe, I'll press record on the voice memos on my phone and like just say whatever tumbles out of my mouth. And then I might come out with something and go, oh, actually, that was good. Hang on, pause. I'll write that down. Yeah, I don't know how I really admire people who go, I'm doing a songwriting session at 2 p.m. on Thursday with Igor, and we're going to smash out some songs, because I just can't sit down and go, I'm going to write a song now. Like, when I try and do that, I'm just like, I can't think of anything. It's all lame. No. Sometimes it's the most inopportune times. Like, I actually wrote a song a month or so back. I was running late for my friend's birthday, and for some reason I've had this. My beautiful friend Melody gave me a banjo, and it's been sitting in my lounge room, and I'm embarrassed I hadn't played it much at all. And I don't know why. I was running late to go to this birthday drinks, and I just picked it up and I started playing this thing. I know 3 chords, and I just smashed out a song in like 10 minutes. And then I was like, okay, I can go now. But I hadn't written a song in like 6 months before that. So yeah, I'm a bit random. I should probably get better at sitting down. And I tell myself all the time, I make these resolutions, I'm going to sit down every day and just play for at least 10 minutes. And and then life gets busy and I don't pick up a guitar for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But everything goes in waves.
All my life, how we felt, what we done now, we never can tell. All the while, then another, suddenly we fell into each other. Don't stay so close to the window. Somebody out there might see.
You know,
And when you do stop, like that banjo incident, you're able to create quite effectively.
yeah, I think maybe because I know my brain knows that I'm not going to give much time to this, and I'm really bad at, like, if I get frustrated writing something, and I can't think of anything, I'm not good at sitting on it for a long time and trying. Like, if it's not coming, I'll just kind of go, I'm going to do something else now. I'm going to make a cup of tea. I'm going to, like, I have a cat. He's good at distracting me. Like, I'm going to go do something else. Most of my best songs I just have just, like, come out. And then there's other things that I've, like, gone through an old book and found 2/3 of a song and gone, maybe I'll finish that now. Like, but yeah, I'm not very patient. I'm not very good at going, I'm going to sit here for 2 hours and while away at this verse until I get it right. Like, if I'm getting bored, then I'm like, probably everyone else will get bored listening to it. So throw that one away.
I can relate to that because I write like that too. If I don't feel it, I stop.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm off chasing the next. From my personal view is that sometimes I'm chasing the next bit of pleasure or thing that's going to give me that ping that I need.
Yeah, and so often too, it's like that, like being at a gig or being out and hearing other people. I've got so many notes in my phone from, like, being at gigs and hearing someone else play something, and then it gives me an idea. And, you know, I've got a million notes in my phone, and a lot of them don't get used, but some of them do. I don't know. Inspiration is everywhere.
What makes a well-rounded song for you?
I mean, I guess the, like, boring answer is, like, a beginning, a middle, and an end. But I'm a big, I don't know, I'm really bad at, maybe it's not bad. I write a lot of my songs are really short. I kind of have a thing of like, I always think you should leave people wanting more rather than leaving them tired. Having said that, I do actually love, like Leonard Cohen, and there's some great songs out there that go forever. But I don't know. I think I just kind of want to say what I need to say and feel something, and once I feel like I've said it, I think then I kind of get out and wrap it up. And sometimes that takes longer, and you need an extra verse, and sometimes you get it out real quick and you're like, I don't need to write a bridge for that. Said everything, it's done.
You're not you're not someone who settles on an idea and kind of move on fairly quickly.
Nah, I mean, I don't know. If I think I've got it out, or I think it's been said, or I think it's like, cool, yeah, that nailed it. But I don't know. Sometimes I've got songs I've had for years where I'm like, I'm still not happy with that line. Like, before I record that, I'll change that. Or, but yeah. And so, I mean, sometimes too, I'll go play a half-written song just to a bunch of people and see if people listen, or if I lose the crowd, and it, like, tells me if I should bother finishing it or not. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just sometimes, have I said what I need to say? Did I get it out there? Or sometimes it's just like, I don't know. Sometimes it's just like, is it a catchy melody, or it feels good to sing or play? Or, I mean, there's some good, like, not everything has to be serious and deep. Like, there can be some fun songs and silly songs too. But yeah.
Well, I'll sit around and wait for you, hoping to have tea for two, and everything I say is true, believe it. And I've stayed up nights for you, hoping to hold hands with you, hoping for a night where you won't leave and go back to your house down the road. It's too far to walk, you know, so why don't you just stay? I have a t-shirt you can sleep in, and you can share my queen size bed. There's room for you and space to spare, but you don't have to sleep all the way over there.
So you're someone who has loved live music pretty much your entire life, and you have developed a really strong network of local musicians in Melbourne, and that has kind of grown into almost like a love for everything that Melbourne stands for and its music scene. And then you're someone who kind of is just constantly striving, constantly trying to not only improve your craft, but build others up in order to do their best as well.
Yeah, well, it's such a cool thing to watch. Like, I don't know, there's just so many amazing people around. I have so many friends that I know that I'm just like, why aren't you famous? Why doesn't everyone know this song? Like, this is a hit. Like, you know, I've told friends, like, this song's going to be in the Hottest 100 next year because it's a banger, and I really believe it. Or I'll say to people, like, I remember years ago I went on a date. I was like, I think it was a first or second date. It was early in a relationship with someone, and I took them to see Ainsley Wills play, and I was like, if you don't like this band, we're not going anywhere. He really likes the band. Yeah, I get excited. There's so many good people. I want to share them with everyone. I want everyone to know about them. Like, why doesn't everyone know who Sarah Humphries is or the Deadly Apple Johns? There's just so much great music out there. Look, I mean, my ultimate life would just be like being able to play music and help other musicians and travel, really. I mean, I've always had a bit of a thing that I was like, I want to make it so I can take my other friends on tour and help them. Like, I mean, the way Courtney Barnett like started Milk Records and hooked up a whole bunch of her friends and put on gigs and tours and shows and did all that stuff. Like, I think and Candle Records before that did that. And like, I think that whole thing is super cool. And yeah, like, I mean, I would love to live a life where I could just play music and travel around. And I should do more to make that happen, really. But also part of it is just like, yeah, I want to get some cool gigs so I can go, hey, come with me to people that I love and show them off to people and hook up other friends. And yeah, like, oh, you'd really like this person. And like, I run, some friends of mine and I run this little show out in Kyneton once a month called Simba Sessions, and it's in a church and it's 2 musicians and a poet, and like, I throw names around it at Paul who books it, and it's such a beautiful thing going like, oh, but like, I know this person really loves that person and it'd be cool to put them on a show together, or like, how cool would it be if they met and that, like, they'd work so well. And I mean, I've run other little gigs before, and I don't know, it's fun to like do all that. And
it's like you're a manager, an event organizer at heart.
Maybe, I don't know. Partly yes, but also it gets stressful. I have all these good ideas, and then at those final moment when like, are people going to come? Oh my God, like, that freaks me out. That's probably what stopped me like doing more of that. But
yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot of musicians talk about that lately, how hard it is to get people coming out to gigs. What's your take on it?
I think just, you know, people don't have as much cash. Things have gotten really expensive. Like, right now it's winter and it's cold outside, which makes it even harder. You know, it's hard to pry people from their comfortable little couch with Netflix where they can select exactly what they want and, you know, make a cup of tea and order Uber Eats and sit there and not have to do anything. Like, hey, put on some clothes and take off your trackies. I come in your trackies. Who cares? Wear your pajamas. No one cares.
Bring your guitar.
Really. Yeah, come out and talk to some people, or don't talk to some people if you don't want to. You can sit in the corner quietly and listen, or just to hang out. And I mean, I have nights where I'm like, oh God, I can't be bothered. If I wasn't running a night or working at the bar or playing, sometimes I'd be staying home. But I'm always glad when I get there. I'm always like energized by people and by music and by just creative energy, and it's such a cool thing. And
Well, Kate, thank you so much for your time. This has been a wonderful discussion.
no worries. Thank you for having me.